Power and dominance factor. In patriarchal system, women are seen to be in subordinate position. The male members of society use patronizing language when conversing with them. This is called the male language, which is the language of power and authority. Therefore, interaction between the males and the females has always been male dominated. Language also shows social inequality. Women's speech was considered unimportant, therefore, they used linguistic forms that were associated with their low status. These forms included tag, question, intonation, hedges, politeness, strategies, and the conversely, men's speech became a tool of the patriarchal power through gender role training. They learned to dominate the conversation through the interruption, crosstalk, or the talk time. We have the gender difference in vocabulary. Men use hard and aggressive aggressions like the damn shit to express anger and frustration. Women would never use these taboo words that are rated as slang. They usually go for harmful expressions like the oh. Tabooed words and slangs are found more in the men's speech than in women, though they may be of the same educational level or the social class. For example, when a woman is frightened, she will shout, "Oh, how frightened I am," but a man would say, "Damn it," and really admit that he is frightened. The difference in the vocab is shown in the following aspect. For example, color words. Women use color words like blue and lavender and azure more frequently, but men would not. Adjectives. Women use adjectives such as adorable, charming, lovely more often. When a woman leaves a restaurant, she will remark, "It is a gorgeous meal." And if a man wants to express the same idea, he will use the word good, using more adjective to express the feeling, more to describe things because women are sensitive to the environment. Adverbs. Women use adjectives such as adorable, charming, lovely more often. When a woman leaves a restaurant, she will remark, "It is a gorgeous meal." And the women tend to use adverbs like the pretty, terribly, vastly, quietly, extra more freely than the men do. Men, on the contrary, use rarely, very utterly. In 1992, Jesperson found that women like to use so quietly, so quite regularly, like she's so pretty, but the play was so interesting. Swear words and expletives. Swear words are considered dirty and impolite, and women do not use these like damn, shit, hell. Women pay more attention to their manners and social property. In order to express their sudden and deep feeling, they may say, "Oh God," "Oh dear," or "Oh dear me." Let us examine the following. Women be, "Dear me, are we going to be late again?" Man, shit, the train on the platform, and we have to run. Modulation. When a woman talks, she often takes what others think into consideration. She uses tag questions such as, "It is cold, isn't it?" and the edges like, "Well, you know, I think, I suppose, kind of, maybe, I am wrong." Then we have the interrogative sentences. Compared with men, women are more likely to use interrogative sentence to express their ideas than they use tag question because the tag question can make the tone less tense. Some linguistic researching in this area collected many couples' conversation tapes and found that women use three times more interrogative sentences than the men. Women do this because they are less sure about themselves and their opinions. They lack the confidence to use direct and the firm statements. Then we have the imperative sentences. These sentences give command or order. Since women hold a subordinate position in the patriarchal society, they are trained to not to order about. A study showed that in conversation, women use the latest pattern of sentence such as "Let's go out for a long drive." A boy man may say directly, "Today we are going for a long drive." This sentence has the sense of giving orders. Some other examples are, "Man, give me that pen." "Woman, would you give me that pen, please?" "Man, it's time to go." "Woman, let's go." Language is constantly changing, it evolves, it grows. Both men and women have developed in the development of language, but their approaches have been different. Women instinctively shrink from gross and rough expression. They prefer refined and indirect expression, whereas men use direct and often coarse expression. Men find women's language too delicate and feel that if this style is adopted, the language will become weak and insipid. It will lose its vividness and strength. Men renovate the language by adding new words. In the beginning, these words may appear slang, but later they are accepted into the main language. On the other hand, women are the conservative by nature and they prefer to use traditional language, thus, they help in preserving old language. It may look comical today, but it is a fact that women used to avoid words like the vulgar, indecent in their routine conversation. Like they prefer to use common for vulgar and would break halfway through a sentence if they're supposed to use a word indecent like this because little isn't it? Women were prevented in the past from using such words as legs, pants, or trousers. Difference in non-verbal languages. We can see that women do not like to patronize any conversation or discussion. They like to listen and then reply. But on the other hand, interrupt others talk. Men do not like to be silent in conversation discussion. When a conversation involves both sexes, women are at the receiving end. They play the role of patient listeners. In the social interaction, men and women have different interests in choosing their topics. Men are more likely to discuss politics, sports, economics, and the current news. Women prefer cooking, domestic chores, clothes, fashion, children. Women talk more in informal situations, but they play a secondary role in the formal meeting. They speak less. Reasons behind these differences are the biological differences between the two sexes cannot explain the reasons behind the different ways of communication, but gender differences plays a great role in the creating these differences. The causes behind the differences can be understood as under the different psychology. It is an accepted idea that women are more careful, sensitive, and considerate than men. Before a man speaks, she usually thinks of the effect her words may have on the listener, so she often appears to be hesitant or more polite. On the contrary, men are rash, they do not bother much for the public opinion and they just say that they want to say and seldom care what others think. So, man's speech is usually blunt and the solid. Then, the social status. Of the social causes of gender differences in speech style, one of the most significant is level of education. Studies show that the greater differences in the education level of boys and girls, the greater is the differences in their speech. The gap between the men's speech and women's speech has reduced considerably with improved and the equal educational opportunities for girls. But even then, the women display care and caution in the appropriate use of language. Language use also depends on the social roles of men and women. Linguistic studies carried out in the 1970s revealed that in almost all the countries, men hold a higher job position that give them opportunities to dominate everything, including women. Men can order about freely, while women are not so confident of giving order. Even when they hold higher position today, women have had very less power in the society, and this lack is obvious in their language. Women's social status makes them submissive to the man. Language has a great connection with society, so a change in social structure takes place. Language use will also change. The male language and the female language are different in emphasis, vocabulary, and presentation. With development of new ideas and the feminist theory, the strict rules governing women are changing in many parts of the world. Rules prescribed for men and women are also changing. Consequently, women do not consider it wrong to assert themselves, and men too are comfortable to let women have their say. Women are becoming more confident and assertive. Young women are especially in the forefront of the language change. Since people's linguistic behavior is not only connected with the social status but it is also connected with the education and profession. Young women getting into high paid jobs are finding it perfectly acceptable to use the language freely. The interrogative sentence, like the one which asks questions. Imperative sentences are the advice or instruction or expresses request or command.